Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Erasmus Expeditions. We are here with a second episode of the third trilogy of the Ards. This is the Saga of the Ards. In just a moment, I'm going to be passing it over to our gorgeous Dungeonmaster Baron. But before I do, I'm going to give the same warning that I give on the beginning of all of the games on this channel, that mature language and mature subject matter are they are very likely to be parts of this game. And if those kinds of things bother you, then but if they don't, then welcome. So, bursty murder, the purple garden. Yeah, so if those kinds of things don't bother you, things like Muppets getting murdered, then yeah, welcome. All right, Baron, it's your ball.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Baron. Hopefully you recognize me at this point because this is the second of three in a series of three. You're way at the end. You are allowed to do that. Anyway, I've had the absolute pleasure of working with Jeremy and my friends here and putting together this game that has truly become a project close to my heart, as I do my best to traumatize you guys within 3 hour spans of time. Truly, though, you guys have been invaluable in putting this story together. So for that, thank you. So with that, we'll begin the second in the conclusion of this trilogy, the Saga of the Ards, that after 3 years will hopefully be coming to an end soon. But as I said before, is it you for it, or it for you? Before we go any further, I'll pass it over to the two remainder of us who haven't had the chance to introduce themselves, plug anything they would like, do the things. We'll kick it to Jeremy, and then I will start us off.
Hey, I'm Philip. I'm cool. You can tell because I'm also wearing a beanie. I like playing games with friends. Go ahead, Jason.
What's your character's name, Philip?
I'll be reprising Guthrum Gladhammer.
Hey,
Beanie
yeah,
with beanie head.
I'm not cool enough to have a beanie like all these dope and crazy kids. Yes, I am Jason Osorio, and I will be playing Sven Nazif, a tiefling warlock paladin who just lost a very dear friend last session. So the traumatizing has already begun, and I'm sure it's only going to get much worse. But I'm here for it. I'm very excited because Baron always provides us with a wonderful time, a horribly wonderful time, and of course, thank you to Jeremy as always for hosting. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do this thing.
Anything else you'd like to say, Jeremy, before I get us going?
I love you. No,
You
I mean that's true, but no, I will be playing Alistair McKenzie, the human cleric who has seen better days and some not better days, and deals with matters of life and death. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Again, I've never really played a character in successive short games where like I've kind of brought them back at different levels, and that's been a really fun thought experiment rather, especially in the setting of like the Ard songs. So
that was something I had talked about for a long time with, I think, all of you. The reprisal of characters later on, where they come, where they go, Cotton Eye Joe and the like. Anyway, we will be rewinding a little bit because unfortunately our good friend Karen is busy with cruel life things. I can't imagine. But in an attempt to incorporate her character last session, we had someone approach you guys there at the end. We're going to just backstep a little bit past that to shortly after the funeral procession for Tom, and then Guthrum spoke with some critters that you were able to find. That's kind of where we'll pick back up. But 10th moon, twilight of autumn, of the 828th year, in the light of the Iron Ring. May the Creator's benevolence shine down upon us all. The stones that lay atop Tom the Traveler fit loosely against one each other, but close enough to hold shape. His cairn is simple, unadorned, and without label. A casualty among the thousands of casualties. A person to some, and will ultimately become a number for a historian who recognizes neither face nor name. The dead rest easy in death, but it's a wonder to think that in the repose of death that they are in fact missing out, getting left behind. A story whose back cover has closed, and the only way to open it again is to begin again from the beginning. Tom's story, like many stories, has reached its end. In hindsight, it would be so fortunate to find an ending that also gives you closure. But it seems for most, the eulogy of their lives has become this shambling dead, to walk in eternal unlife under the endless night in the Headless One's domain. The night looms over us as we find ourselves in the shade of a copse of trees not far from a large separation in the city wall. Given some insight by local critters, it seems to be unguarded, and a means of getting past the defenses of stone that surround the city. You are all on the outside of this separation. Like I said, night is beginning to loom. I mean, it's dark here already, but now it's really dark. What would you guys like to do?
Have we seen any sign of occupation from within the city? I mean, I know that we know theoretically there's something in there, but have we seen any kind of like movement or heard sound, seen smoke?
There has been, I would say, not a tremendous. There is some smoke, not a lot. Hard to identify what it would be exactly. But in terms of movement, for the most part, the only movement that you have been able to identify is the walking corpses that are, at this point, largely just skeletal remains.
And those seem to just kind of be like aimlessly roaming. They're not necessarily like
Correct.
patrolling with like discipline or anything like that.
No.
Okay. Are any of these trees tall enough that from the distance that we're at, would they provide a view over the wall?
Truthfully, I'm gonna say no. This would have been like a major. It wouldn't have been like a capital city, but it is a major trade hub for this area. Not far from the Ard River. This is where a lot of the like logging stuff comes into a focal point, bottlenecks into a shippable trade route down south. It is fortified by a stone wall that is about 50 feet tall, and they would have cut the tree line back, I would say like 100 yards, so any kind of approaching, especially given that it was a war 23 years ago or 30 years ago at this point. No one would have replanted those trees just to keep that defensible flat ground. And truthfully, it's probably largely like ruined farmhouses, fields that have grown over. No local tree close enough would have been tall enough to see.
Perfect. Okay, thank you.
I have a question, Baron. This might be a bit of a deep pull here, but so I know when we fought the Dullahan, the headless horseman that was Ewan in the Drift trilogy. Svedna saw this vision of like some kind of structure, and then there was like an underground portion with like this giant green crystal that had this sort of web of black corruption sort of on it when she saw Finn was the host of the Headless One. Did she see like any kind of distinct building that was over this like underground chamber? Did she see how to get into that underground chamber?
You would have seen that it largely looked like a keep of some sort.
Okay.
You would believe if you seen that building, you could recognize it. Given the kind of esoteric nature of the message that was transferred to you, you didn't see like the pathway that went down there.
Fair.
But you are led to believe that one and one are the same.
Okay. Yeah, I think with that in mind, Svedna will look to the other two and say, I could, although there are no trees between here and the wall, I could try to fly up. The building that I saw when Vazikil showed me that the Headless One's new vessel was Finubar, it looked like a keep of some kind over this underground chamber. So if I could fly up high enough, see over the wall, if I could spot the keep, then I can get a better idea of how we need to enter, where we need to go, what point would be closest to cross the wall, unless either of you have any other ideas.
The animals said the gap in the wall was the best point of egress, did they not?
Looks to Guthrum.
Yes, I believe so. If we are worried about being detected, I could also transform into a more benign creature.
That is a thought.
Well, it is difficult for us to rest long enough here to replenish your powers, so maybe we don't use it so frivolously.
Then at some point, if we are all to go to the wall and go through the gap, we should just be as stealthy about it as we can.
Well, at the very least, I can fly up and see how far it is from the gap to this keep. Trying to stay in the trees, maybe. And I think she will kind of flex her wings a little bit, and then she will kind of bend her knees and launch up into the air. She will try to stay. I know you said like there aren't any super tall trees, at least not tall enough to look over this 50-foot wall, Baron. But she'll try to keep amongst the trees so she's not, big red winged devil lady flying out in the open, just to see if she can spot the keep with like her dark vision. And see maybe how far it is from this gap that Guthrum's animal friends told him about. You're muted. Ha, drink.
I literally was like holding my cursor here, and then I looked at my notes, and then I moved my cursor to my box, and I was like, God.
Set your watch by it.
Do you have the extension of dark vision from your warlock trait?
I do not. I only have the 60 feet.
Okay. So as you fly, give me a perception check.
I shall. I'm going to only use D&D Beyond for this. Oh, that was almost really good, and then it was really bad. That is only an 8, and I am not going to burn one of my 2 remaining points of luck for something like that. So
it's not
8.
like you fail.
Yeah.
You do perceive things. More or less, you are hindered by the darkness. You can only see 60 feet away from you.
Right.
As you fly, there are points of light that you can see within the city, and what was Greenhaven is still a large, sprawling complex, though now overtaken with grass, brambles, and various other kinds of weeds. In maybe like a half dozen houses within the city, there are lights. You can tell they're not. It doesn't necessarily seem like occupational lights. and you don't necessarily see movement around them. But you do see lights up in the keep itself. You can make out its shape, but you cannot make out detail from here, simply because it is partially illuminated by these lights, and they're just like lantern lights atop parapets far in the distance.
Can she tell, like, and again, I know that was not a great perception roll. Can she tell, like, roughly how far it would be from this gap in the wall that Guthrum indicated to get to the keep, or like the base of the keep?
Given I'm your instinctual ability to recognize distance with your vision, it's probably like at least like a mile and a half, maybe 2 into the city. You're not as you kind of look, you're gathering that you are maybe like an art. What is a good distance to kind of give you a relationship? You're not far from like the main entrance of this city, and like the main entrance is designed to have you kind of like go through the city into the keep, and so like you are closer than the main entrance, but you haven't done much outside bypass kind of like those first watchtowers and maybe like a bridge.
I think as she is sort of like flying up there kind of amongst the treetops, realizing all of this, I think she feels this twinge of like, if Tom was here, he would have some advice to like scout ahead. You know, he'd be able to slip in and out of sight, even in this place where there are no trees when they've been culled back away from the walls of the keep. And she feels kind of this little knot in her stomach, but she forces herself to focus, and then she'll fly back down to the other two, land a little heavily, and say, so from the gap that you told us about, Guthrum, it's about, if I had to guess, at least maybe a mile and a half to 2 miles. It's not going to be a quick jaunt from the gap to the keep, but the keep is where we need to go. And there are lights, maybe lantern lights, within both the keep and some of the buildings. I don't see many signs of people apart from the skeletal dead. So it sounds like, to your point, maybe sneaking to the gap and then sneaking to the keep is the best way to go. Might be a little harder for me. And she'll kind of gesture down to the chainmail armor that she's wearing, you know, the heavy kind of crystal enshrouded shield. I'm not so good at being quiet anymore.
Have either of you ever been to Greenhaven before?
No.
Well, I think our first point of action needs to be to maybe try to find a map of the city. That way we can plan a course, plot a course where we can stay off of the places where we may be more likely to be spotted. Make our way from building to building.
You do have a map
of the city.
That's right, we do.
I mean, I won't say that it's like building for building, but it is what the scavengers have been using for their means of going and retrieving things.
Yeah, Svedna will pull that out because I think she was holding that after Giannis left with the civilians last time. So yeah, she'll hold that out to Alistair.
So this must be the keep here. He kind of points
so.
to what seems to be, you know, the indicator of it on the map.
It's not perfect, but you do feel like this could aid you.
So, if we're supposed to enter the city here, and the keep is here, then maybe instead of this direction, he kind of like traces his finger along one possible path that might seem the most obvious. What if instead we move this direction? It may take a little longer, but I think maybe it could help us not be discovered.
We could try. To your point, I don't think we should linger. Move from building to building as quickly as possible. Don't waste time and get in. There may be somewhere underground where we could take some final respite, but I don't think we're going to find much safety once we move past the wall.
I imagine you're right. And we are likely to encounter at least some undead. And I think that we need to try to dispatch with them as quietly and quickly as possible when that is the case.
I think Svedna will look to you, Guthrum. Do you have, I assume, some kind of magic that could make us stealthier? Is that what you were talking about? Could that maybe help us here?
We do have something that could help us. I can cast Pass Without Trace if stealth is of the utmost importance.
I think so.
But we need to stay close.
Mm-hmm.
I also can summon the fox to scout ahead for us, who can telepathically communicate with me. Or a rat, or any creature that might be common in Greenhaven.
I haven't seen anything that passes as a watchman, or any kind of sentience to these undead. It doesn't look like they may be even looking for us, if we were to come across their path. I imagine once we get closer to the keep that might change, though. For now, maybe let's just concentrate on getting through the gap, and then we can assess at that point. Hold it until we're certain that we can push forward without too much of an issue, just in case we have to fall back.
Sounds good to me. Guthrum, want to cast your spell? Did pass without tracing or whatever?
That will be the last second level spell slot.
How many more spell slots do you have?
I've got 3 first level.
Maybe hold on to that.
It's either Moonbeam or Pass Without Trace.
Maybe hold on to that.
Could be pretty fucking useful in these mods, you know what I mean?
Maybe hold on to that. Yeah, that's
hold
fair.
on to that. Let's but I'll summon a fox to scout ahead.
Sure, that makes sense. Do we
also
go ahead?
I've become much more stealthy in the last few years, hunting a lot in the forest, so
not for meddlesome cultists, I hope.
Hey, if I come across them, game is game.
I guess. Do you think it makes sense to maybe go one at a time? You know, like we get to the gap, one person gets to the gap, make sure it's safe, and then can signal for the next person to come. I should probably go last because again, I'm going to make a bit of noise. There's not much I can do for it apart from removing my armor, which seems like a horrible idea.
You won't be the only one who's making noise, I'm afraid.
You can also fly.
True.
You could take an alternate route. It might just take time for Alistair.
It's safe to assume that you still make noise as you fly, too.
Yeah. Chainmail kind of jingles and jangles. Jingle, jangle, jingle.
It's like Santa's sleigh.
It's the giant red devil lady.
And if it's dark, you could fly pretty high and then just drop down.
All right, so then maybe I think she'll look to you, Alistair. Do you want to maybe go with Guthrum to the gap? Like, I understand you're going to make noise, but I don't know if something happens and I'm the only person with you, I'm also going to make noise. So maybe Guthrum's right. Maybe I split off, try to meet you all at the gap, and you two go together.
I think that might work. A 50-foot wall should dampen at least most of the noise we would make, and like I said, I haven't seen a single watchman on the parapets, so we could get lucky.
I have a weird question, Baron. When Svedna saw those lantern lights, did they look like lantern lights, or did it look like something else? Like, were they flickering? Did it look like flame, or did it look like some other kind of like magical radiance? I'm happy to roll for it if you want.
Yeah, let's make a survival check.
I'm pretty good at that. Also, wisp lanterns, calling it now. Oh wow, that's really good. That's a 19 plus 4 for a 23 on the survival.
You believe that the ones on the parapets of the keep
Mhm.
were true flame.
Okay.
The rest that within the city were either too obfuscated or indirect to tell.
Okay. So just not sure. Got it. Yeah, she'll relay that to the others. She'll just say, I think as we are moving through the city, once we claim the gap, the light in the city was a little hard to see. It might. I know there are all sorts of, honestly, Alistair, you'd probably know better than me, but all sorts of undead creatures that some of them can shed light or look like light. But I think the lights on the keep's walls were actual flames. So just be careful. I wouldn't get anywhere near those lanterns in Greenhaven proper. Other than that, may Anek have mercy on our pitiful souls. She kind of smiles at Alice there a little sadly, and I think she's going to start kind of peeling off. I think what she'll do, since I know you had mentioned kind of the main entrance, Baron, I think she will like swing. I don't think she's going to go through the main entrance because that still seems like a long way around. But she'll get like a little bit of distance moving in that direction, let the others get to the gap first, and then she'll kind of come a little ways behind them, like give them a, I don't know, a 50 count or something to reach the gap safely. But she'll be watching from the tree line.
We can still all make our stealth rolls at the same time.
I don't wanna.
Realistically, you would have advantage because it's dark, but you guys are loud as fuck, so it's just neutral rolls for you. And Guthrum,
Okay.
you would have advantage.
I am going to burn one of my luck points because I think this is kind of important, and I will re-roll that 10 that I just got. That is another 10. That is another 10. Yep,
Yeah.
2 10s in a row. I have one more luck point left. Do it. But I'm not going to use it, I don't think.
And Alistair, what did you get?
So I rolled with disadvantage because of my armor.
It's
well,
a straight
first-
roll.
It
Straight
would
roll.
have just been a straight roll.
Oh, okay.
Because
It's dark.
it's very dark.
Oh, well, in that case, I will take the first die that I rolled, which was a nat 20.
Oh,
Perfect.
So,
beautiful.
with my massive bonus from stealth, that is a 20.
I have a +5. Couldn't get over a 10.
The group of you traverse this span of empty space, and it, like I said, it's not purely empty. You cross in front of remnants of farmhouses, overgrown fields. I mean, if you will, Guthrum, Alistair, what is something about this abandoned place that is recognizable from your own life? What is something that you see that it's just like, this is something tragic because this could be anywhere?
Thinking one of these abandoned houses, or not abandoned houses, basically rubble. The thing that is left is this. It is, for a small cottage, this really nice hearth. You know, the fireplace that still has the iron kettle where it should be, and it reminds Guthrum instantly of his children sitting around the hearth and how many countless hours of cooking stew and chatting, and that's basically, it is the center of the home. So he's thinking back to that and looking at this, thinking this could have been our cottage. Might be soon.
I think at some point they have to like stop at like the corner of one of these like burned out buildings and wait, for like a moment to clear before they continue. And when he's kind of kneeling next to the corner of the wall, he happens to look down, and they're mostly kind of like trampled down into the mud and the ash. is a like a hand carved wooden like fetish of a fox that has had its head snapped off because it was, you know, stepped on as it was ground into the dirt here. And he kind of like reaches down and picks up the body portion of it and turns it over in his hand, sadly, before he puts it back down in the place where he found it, and then they continue on.
I think if you'll let me, Jeremy, Guthrum will grab that body and head, and seeing you put it back down, he'll grab it, cast mending, fix it, and then hand it to you.
He nods and smiles kind of weakly at Guthrum. Thank you.
Yes. Let's keep going.
Add that to your character sheet. You might find that valuable later. Svedna, you may do the same, but maybe throw a pang of how it causes you to struggle to get across this gap.
I think what it is maybe since she was kind of angling a little bit more towards the entrance, you know, she sees Guthrum and Alistair take the gap, and she starts to move, and I think out of the corner of her eye, she sees what looks like some kind of like ruined, like roadside, maybe not like a shrine, but like some kind of totem, like some kind of statue. And I think she feels this chill rattle up and down her spine because it is a roadside statue of Halif the Hunter, this deity that Finnebar, this man who is now the vessel of the Headless One, was a novice priest of. He was a novice priest of this particular, I think it was an Iron Ring deity, if I remember correctly. And I think she sees like this smiling stone face, like partially buried in the earth, and she feels just again that like twisting, knotting feeling in her stomach. And I think either she almost collides with something, like maybe there's like a tree stump or something. She's flying just a little too low to the ground, so she almost collides with that, manages to right herself, but she just creates a tremendous amount of noise. And I think she will kind of move a little more slowly towards the gap, just hoping, praying that, you know, this incident has not drawn the Horde's attention, or at least the skeletal undead that are in Greenhaven proper.
Everyone make perception checks.
There's the roll I needed. How about a 19?
Okay.
5 for me.
Yeah, 7 for me.
Alistair, you should have been making this at a disadvantage anyway, because it is dark.
Yeah, 7.
You don't have light vision.
Human.
As you, I mean, you're on top of the wall, Svedna, versus.
I think she'd still be like kind of like on the ground level. I don't think she'd be getting onto the wall. It's just she's trying to keep some amount of distance between her noisy self and Guthrum and Alistair. But her goal is to get to the gap with them, if possible.
Well, realistically, you've done that.
Fair. Okay.
As you step through or cross through this threshold, and whichever way you choose, you look about you, and despite the fact that from the day the group of you more or less met till now was roughly 8 years ago, this place is too intact. Flagstones are still unbroken, worn smooth by years of foot traffic, but yet the life of nature has not reclaimed it. There is moss, but it is desiccated, and it kind of like creeps through the mortar lines, not as a conquest, but as what little caretaking can come back to this place, softening its edges, quietening the geometry of a place once meant for gathering. At the square's center, you see a fountain. It's dry, but it's still immaculate. You can tell that its basin is not filled with rubble, just dust and leaves that have blown in over the walls and puddled in an inescapable well. And it's almost like they aren't rotting, they're just turning more dust. From what you can see, which isn't much, buildings ring this plaza, and in an eerie way, they remind you of headstones. Their shuttered windows, all empty, unblinking. Balconies have begun to sag under the weight of time. And this is where you also see like ivy has really been what is holding this place together. Things that required maintenance, like wood structures and the like that would have worn over time. They're being held together by like this funeral ivy. The banners still hang from poles, sun bleached and threadbare, the colors drained into soft tones that you can only see in shades of gray. Nothing flaps, nothing stirs, not even the air seems to move. There's no signs of a struggle. There's no scattered weapons. There's no burn marks. There's no barricades. Whatever happened did not fight in this place. It attempted to carry on. Doors are closed. Stalls remained unopened for the day. Child's wooden hoop leans against a well, untouched by decay, as if the city collectively decided to stop mid-breath. As you stare into the darkness, there's just kind of like the overwhelming rush of your own heartbeat in your head, as there's no real noise. And then a stone drops somewhere, echoing throughout this empty space. And I can't assume or put words in your mouth, but this is the jump scare moment where all that was quiet is suddenly broken, and it's hard to tell if that noise was even real or a group hallucination of something you wanted to hear in the nothingness. And then it returns to the smooth, rippleless puddle of silence. I need everyone to make a survival check.
8.
24.
A dirty 20.
Svedna, you are probably the most capable of seeing with your eyes at this moment. Guthrum and Alistair. Alistair probably because you cannot see very well, and Guthrum because you've been living here in proximity. You are being watched. Something has caught wind of your location, and it is aware of you. You cannot hear it, and maybe that's the problem, that you also cannot see it, but it is aware of you. You are all, I would say, like, it's a moderately sized wall, so like you could be using it as cover, but ultimately, like, you can either bunker down here or you can go into the city square. I would say like you are somewhat concealed by buildings that ring the city square as well. It's not like wall and then city square. It's like you kind of are like in betwixt an alley maybe or something like that you can peer out and see, like the fountain and things. But
the three of us are back together.
Yes.
At this point? Okay. Well, do we attempt to double back, or do we chance crossing the open? Something is off.
I think we need to find, to your point, we need to find a building of some kind that we can hunker down in. I don't think we can go back.
Feel like staying in one place is how they will find us.
Right.
I'm fairly certain that we have already been found.
Then it's staying in one place they will catch us.
Maybe we can double back a block or two and find a way around. Or do we just chance it if they already know that we're here?
I mean, we're at the gap now. I don't know if there is a double to go back to. I think we, like Guthrum said, I think we just keep moving, go from building to building. Don't give them an
Try to
opportunity to
lose
catch
them.
us. Right.
All right.
If you need help, just let me know and I'll try to help you.
Thank you.
Your knees, I know.
Yes, I'm doing just fine. Thank you.
You're welcome.
He leans on his axe a little harder. Well, no time like the present, I suppose. And he's going to turn and start making his way that direction.
Yeah.
A little bit of like a hustle.
You are moving through like behind the buildings and alleyways, you said?
Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. Try to find some kind of empty building where we can like hunker down, see if anything is visibly following us or if we're still just being watched by whatever, and then move to another building. Kind of leapfrog our way to the keep is what I'm thinking.
All right, everybody roll stealth checks.
Would this be a disadvantage for heavy armor folks or normal for heavy armor folks?
I'm gonna say it's just normal.
Okay.
Actually, no, it's gonna be a disadvantage because the thing that can see you can see in the dark.
Oh, fair. Oh, plus there's lanterns and stuff. All right.
Okay.
Wow, that was almost
17.
really good, even on the disadvantage. An 8. Another 8.
Yeah, I rolled a nat 20 and a 17. So that is a 17.
Oh, this is interesting. Okay. You run. I mean, you're trying to be as stealthy as you can within the confines of your armor, but at a certain point there's like a threshold of like you're wasting time shambling slowly, making noise versus just running and making noise. You are sticking to the shadows, you're avoiding those lanterns. You come within, I would say like 200 feet, and you can see one of these lanterns, and it is, as you kind of like emerge from this alleyway, it's actually a side street instead of an alleyway, and you kind of like come out somewhat like backstep and you look, and where the city square was completely empty, you like walk around and turn, and there is hundreds of varying states of decay. So it is clear that not all these bodies are from the city, because this city would have been taken 7 years ago. Some of these are fresh, some of these are very old, and they're all kind of like lingering. You see like their shadows cast behind them as they all kind of like stand lifelessly limp, their limbs just kind of hanging beside them in this glow. It's like a bale. I think poltergeist, like the white light of the TV when it's flashing. You know, it's this horrific white, and it's like this. It looks like a cage, but it is made out of bones, bleached in the sun, and within there is like this rattling ball. It's hard to say what this ball is, but this ball is bouncing off the interior of this cage, and that is what the kind of like movement of the shadows of light is this light bouncing within. All of these things are enraptured by this as you kind of like emerge. And as you move too far into the alleyway. There's like a bucket or something that you kick with your boots, and it tips, and it's just a slight noise that echoes through this roadway, and the ball stops moving, and it raises out, and as soon as it like breaches the lid, there's like hands that like come over, these fingers that have way too many knuckles grab the lid of this cup of bones and kind of like peers over. Its face and eyes are very like, it's got ghost face vibes. You know, it's like it's stretched. Someone grabbed the top of this skull and the bottom of this jaw and stretched. And as it opens its mouth, it just keeps opening and opening this black void on either side, like ringed by pale white teeth. And it just screams. I need you guys to roll initiative.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie then.
19. They're the rolls that we needed.
Oh, I should have said the other side. Hold on. Oh, hell yeah. Dude,
Hell yeah.
there's some intuitive things about you.
It has its moments.
That's all I'll say. Svedna.
Okay. So, apart from droopy face McGee here, are the other undead doing anything, or are they just watching?
You're seeing now as they all like begin to slowly turn to acknowledge you all.
How many of them are there roughly? Like ballpark? Are we talking hundreds?
With a quick perception, what is your passive perception? Yeah, you would be. There's a lot.
It's a lot.
Okay, let me rephrase this.
Mhm.
There's a lot. You can't ballpark it because you cannot see everywhere they stand.
Okay, that makes sense.
You can tell with the quick analysis that some of these would be real easy to take down, as they are just bones. And despite the fact that magic holds them together, they are still bones.
Right.
But the ones that are a little bit more recent, those undead tend to still have a little bit of weight in their limbs when they swing. Those could be a problem still, and there's probably about half a dozen of those.
Got it.
Now the states between, that's kind of falls into your like zombie category, where it's like they're easy to dispatch, but they have a tendency to live past being dispatched, and you gotta do it again.
Okay. I think Svedna, seeing that, will actually look to you, Guthrum, and say, can you, I know we didn't want to use this resource, but can you get to the keep yourself? Or do you, if you had to change into an animal or something to get to the keep quickly and quietly, can you do that?
Yes.
I think she's going to look to you, Alistair, and say, if I could try to pick you up and fly with you towards the keep, I don't think we're going to be able to outrun them all or kill them all.
If you think you can carry me, then I'm all right with attempting it.
All right. Yeah, so I think first, before she does that, as her action, she takes a breath, kind of holds up this left palm that has the swirl of now indigo-colored crystal on it, and I think maybe there's some like dim light that's coming from one of these strange pale lanterns that sort of reflects through the crystal, and you see how many is it? I think it's 3. Yeah. Sort of the light kind of refracts through the crystal, and these 3 other like spectral Svednas appear, and then they solidify. As she's going to cast False Echoes or Mirror Image on herself as an action. And I think all these mirror images are doing basically the same thing that the actual Svedna is doing. Svedna kind of wraps, like, I imagine she kind of like just picks you up and almost like an underarm kind of carry thing, a little bit like a football, and she tries to fly. I think what she'll do is, I don't know how tall these buildings are. I assume her 30-foot fly speed is going to be halved. If she can only fly 15 feet, can she get on top of one of these buildings to get off the ground? Is that possible, Baron?
That's a good question, because in my head these were fairly tall buildings. Let's take a page out of Jacob Norman's book and roll 2 D100s and see how close we are. I would say there is a 50% chance of you're 25 on either side of me, or either side of you, rather, whichever. We'll go from there.
I got a 13 on a D100.
I rolled a 12.
Oh, hey, there you go. I mean, it doesn't even necessarily have to be like the top of a building, but even just like a balcony or something to get the two of them off the ground.
I think it is a like a
terrace or a
sure, like just like a roofed porch area that leads up, and like then there's a second story above that. That's probably another 15 feet up.
Okay. Yeah, so she'll do that.
Give me an athletics check.
Stop making me roll for things, Barry.
Well, you're carrying someone who's in armor.
I know. Oh, there we go. Here we go. My luck is starting to turn. That's an 18. Of course, now that I said that, everything's going to go to pot again, but it's an 18.
You anticipated as much. It is a strain to fly in your own armor some days, let alone picking someone up in their own set of armor.
Right.
But you were able to lift him the 15 feet up into the air to get up onto this this porch, or this roofed porch.
How are you so fucking heavy? You're just like skin and bones at this point. And she's gonna, I think she'll set you down, Alistair, on this rooftop garden, because she doesn't have any more movement or action or anything. Let me see if she has any bonus actions. I don't think mirror images concentration. It might be actually. It is not. Okay. So let me see. Bonus actions. Yeah, she's not going to light up the sword because it seems like a great way to draw more attention to us. How far away are we from Spooky McDroopy Face on this roof, roughly?
He's about 120 feet from you.
Yeah, that's not going to happen then. Okay, that will be it. She will kind of be looking around for the next rooftop that she could potentially get to with Alistair if he can't make the jump, if the jump is too wide, or if he just, couldn't manage that. But I think that will be the end of her turn.
That brings us to First School, who is going to, I mean, realistically, it's the three fleshy bodies. They turn, I mean, you can see that they're dead, but like one, his arm is severed halfway up the forearm and it's kind of like left in a jagged stump. You can see he's been using that to like rake his victims. One doesn't have like actually his stomach is kind of like ripped open, and you can see that like there's like tension on his neck from his organs being pulled out of his open stomach, kind of like pulling his esophagus down. And like the other, like half her face is gone, and like part of her chest and like ribs are just bone, like the meat is torn off, but she still has her limbs. You can just kind of like see the inside of her corpse. They all charge at you. They cannot cross they're about 80 feet from you, and they, with double movement, can only move 60 feet. So they are about 20 feet away from you, Guthrum. As you haven't moved, Svedna, you moved 15 feet up. I don't know how far away that got you outside of that. So these things have kind of like, and like, World War Z style zombies charging after you. This long-faced thing that comes out of the cup, it seems to kind of like split, and a second face emerges, and two of these creatures emerge from the cup, and they are gonna fly. They're gonna fly towards you 40 feet and disappear into buildings as they are incorporeal and can do things like that. Go through them. What would you like to do?
Well, fuck. I will go ahead and wild shape into a black weasel.
Oh, wild
Or,
shape into
sorry.
a flea. A harmless
First.
flea.
Actually, first, what I would like to do is okay. So for this like cloak that I have that is woven with autumnal
Supposed to be
leaves.
Alistair, then go through them. Oops, sorry.
Oh yeah, shit. Sorry, Alistair, you go. Thanks.
I mean, you guys are right next
Yeah,
to each other. So
it's
yeah,
fine.
you're
Go
good.
for it. You're
I'm
already,
going to use a bonus action to teleport 30 feet like around a corner. So hopefully I like get out of vision of these creatures. Then I want to wild shape into a black weasel and take off towards the keep.
Yeah, that's a good idea. All right, if there's nothing else, I'll give us to Alistair.
Sweet.
okay. So I think Alistair is going to. I mean, it's clear that they see us, so this rooftop is only going to be safe for so long. He's definitely looking for a different point of exit. I don't know if Svedna is still planning on trying to carry him or not, but that's probably not going to be realistic for very long. So he's definitely trying to find a path that hopefully might take them closer to the keep, as well as away from these creatures. If he needs to jump a gap of some kind, then reticently he'll do so.
So I think this will be 2 checks. The higher you do on the first will lower the DC on the second. So give me a
Okay.
survival to find a path.
Okay. That's not bad. That's a dirty 20 again.
Okay. So I mean, the quickest route that you see would be hopping to the next building over, which has a much shallower roof, and getting up onto the second story where there are longer stretches of roof that you can run along. You just have to jump over there. So that would be an athletics or acrobatics check.
Okay. So I think this is probably not the kind of situation where he's going to like jump and try to land on his feet. He is like diving towards this like lower roof
so
to
I
then
will
like
say
tumble.
You'll still, let's do it at disadvantage given that you're wearing armor.
Okay,
But given
okay.
that you got a dirty 20, the DC will be relatively low.
Okay, and I'm going to do athletics if that's all right.
That's fine.
Just kind of bodily throwing himself. Disadvantage is going to result in a total of 12.
Okay, you're looking for like, I was looking for 8 to be honest.
Sweet.
Because like you said, there's no grace. I think there's
No.
like a moment where you look at Svedna and Svedna looks at you, and there's kind of like that moment of like, yeah, you're not gonna be able to keep doing that. And like, you see this building, and you just throw yourself across.
Just resign myself to do it. Tuck
There
a shoulder and
is,
roll.
yeah, there you land, and it's like thatch, I imagine.
Oh
And
no.
so that you land, and it's like you feel a part of it give, but like the wood timbers on the inside have caught you, and you're, thank God for good architecture, I guess. And you scramble up the roof. Is there anything else you'd like to do? Bonus action of any kind?
Bonus actions. I don't think I have any currently. Nobody's hurt right now. None of us. Okay. Then, yeah, I think that's really it. If he's prone, he's going to stand up as best he can and make his way this direction. You know what? Actually, as a bonus action, I am going to cast Shield of Faith on Svedna.
I wouldn't, only because her AC
No?
is already at 20. I mean, you can if you want.
Oh.
I almost feel like cast it on
Nope.
yourself more than
That's
anything.
good. Yeah.
I think Shield of Faith
Creature
is
of your choice
concentration as well.
within range. Do what now?
I said, is it concentration as well?
It is.
It is.
Mm-hmm. So I will actually cast that on myself then. +2 bonus to my AC for the duration.
So that puts you at 18.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
All right. That brings us to the top of the round, which is actually not you, Svedna.
Dun dun dun.
You guys hear, it sounds like fireworks, like as these lights kind of like flash in the direction that these like meaty ghouls are running from. And you see Alistair. Actually, you'd all be able to see, like there is an individual that is setting these things off across the street. This is probably by where you are, Guthrum. And this individual you see, it's kind of like a person walking on stilts. It's just a really tall, spindly looking dude. He's got a long beard that is mostly white at this point. There's a little bit of black in there, but you can tell that like this man is all stress at this point. Like the lines in this guy's face are like rivers carving away canyons in the sun-baked leather of this guy's face. His mustache is like stained with tobacco stains on the edges, and he's dressed in plain leather. And Guthrum, you can see that he bears, it's the case of the heralds when they fuck you. It's the herald's case when they play or tell stories, or like recite the news. They put out this case and people throw in money for them. You recognize this person as a herald, one of the people that go around and are kind of like held in high esteem for their knowledge of genealogy and science and weather and news and so on and so forth. He's lighting off these. I don't know if you've ever even seen. You guys have probably all seen fireworks. These. I don't know. These merchants come to town and put on shows for you guys. But they seem to have stunned the ghouls running. But you can kind of see the incorporeal figures weaving in and out of the buildings without much regard for their physical nature. And he's gonna yell, "Meet me at the church! Run!" And he's gonna run. Now we get to Svedna.
Yeah, I think she kind of looks in the direction that this individual took off in, and I think she will, I mean, easily enough, I imagine, with 30 feet of flying, she's going to fly over. All four Svednas will fly over and land next to Alistair and just look at him and say, should we go to the church or should we keep going to the keep?
If the church is still consecrated ground, it could help.
Guthrum is going to go right for the keep. He doesn't. I mean, maybe he hurts. Anyway, all right, fine. And she'll kind of look at like the nearby buildings, and then she'll say, "If you fall behind, I will come back and get you." And she's going to use her action to dash, fly another 30 feet. Again, she'll keep to the rooftops to try and follow this spindly fireworks man. But that's movement, action, and no bonus action. So that's it for her.
Give me a perception check.
Oh, I don't want to. Oh, hey,
Yeah.
another 19. I've rolled so many 19s in the last few minutes.
You can see, so you as you're looking at the city, like you see a lot of silhouettes of buildings, and like there's a handful of buildings that you can generally make out in a silhouette form, and like the steeple and bell tower of the temple is kind of iconic. It doesn't matter where you go, you can kind of be like, Iron Ring's been here. That's what he's talking about.
Okay. Yeah, then Svenna will move in that direction. I think if she can, she will try to, although she's probably at like the edge of her dark vision at this point since she flew 30 feet and then dashed for another 30 feet. She'll try to keep Alistair like in her dark vision. So if she needs to go back for him, then she can, because she's not super interested in losing someone else so soon after losing Tom.
All right. The fresh cadavers seem to be stunned this round. And that brings us to Alistair.
Yeah, so he's gonna kind of like take a reassessment of his pathing, and you're realizing they're not now heading to the keep. Now he has to try to figure out where this church is. He's just gonna follow suit to what Svedna's done and try to follow this stilted man. And if he can stay to the rooftops, then great. But if not, then he's gonna prepare his holy symbol.
So currently you can.
Perfect.
You do see ahead of you because like you're at this point you're kind of like on a shallow slope going up to like a second story where a lot of these buildings kind of level off. A lot of them are like a business or tenement, and then something on top of it as well. You see that your 60 feet run here, you'll be just fine. Afterward, it seems like you'll have to make another jump.
Okay. So yeah, for the time being, he's just gonna kind of vault over like, what small wall separates like the, the actual terrace from like the thatching that he landed on, and then kind of stop for just a second to, give his knees a moment and pick himself up and start jogging that direction, about as fast as he can. I'm assuming there are not any undead currently around him.
Not up
they're like
here.
kind of down in the street.
There are some in the streets, yes. And it seems as if it's like I said before, for the most part, they're just like the old dead, easily dispatchable.
Okay.
More of a nuisance. It seems like wherever these like ghost lights pass through is where it's kind of like picking up their attention in your direction, and you guys are kind of ahead of them still.
All right, then hue in hand and holy symbol in the other, he's gonna haul ass. I guess he'll take a dash action if he can.
Yeah, so like I said, you can get your 60 feet without having to jump, but next time you're gonna have to. Brings us to Ghostlight Boys. If they dash, they will be on Alistair at this point because they can dash 80 feet. They won't be able to attack though. Actually, that's correct. I think actually I might be 20 feet away from you still.
Did we skip Guthrum?
No,
No,
so I
I'm
actually
after
I didn't
Alistair.
have he's no,
Oh.
Guthrum is after Ghost Lights.
Oh, okay,
It
got
was
it.
because I think Guthrum you rolled physical dice for your initiative.
No, I put it in
Not Guthrum, I'm sorry, Alistair.
Alistair, yeah.
Yeah, so it didn't auto-populate his 8 and it had him at 0, so I missed him. When I put his 8 in, it put him in the correct order for the second round. So it goes Ghouls, Alistair, Ghost Lights, Guthrum. Trying to autocorrect on the fly, but you guys are perceptive.
Yes.
Yes. So these ghost lights are going to double move towards you. They will be 20 feet away, but they will be within range next round to you, Alistair, unless you dash. Well, if you dash, they dash. There's a song there.
If I dash, they get a swing at me. So.
Yes. Guthrum.
Can I see the lights?
So how far? What is the movement of a weasel?
30 feet.
And I imagine, so you bonus action teleported 30 feet, ran 30 feet as a weasel, and then dashed as a weasel as well. So you'd have been 90 feet away.
No, I teleported 30 feet, turned into a weasel as an action, moved 30 feet.
I heard. Okay, so you are about the same distance away from Alistair, but you are on the ground. So yeah, you can see these things. And you are within 60 feet. So we'll handle it on their turn, but you have to roll a saving throw on their turn because you can see them.
Oh, shoot. Well,
But yeah, you can see them.
cool. First, I'm going to Starry Wisp attack them as a weasel. My eyes glow white and my mouth opens and moonlight forms as a little mote of light launches out. Oh dear. That was a nat one. For a total of 7.
Yeah, that will not hit, but they are aware of you now. That's a nat
Ooh,
one
cool,
enough.
cool. Yeah. And then I will scurry away 30 feet. Try to run towards the church.
Hi.
Unless, can I try to hide? No, it's all I have is my movement, so never mind.
You run 30 feet. That brings us back to the top of the round with mysterious figure. You seen which way he went, Guthrum, but as you look, you have no idea where he has gone. For an old guy, he moves pretty quick. That brings us to Svedna.
Okay, so yeah, because she doesn't know about the don't look at them things. So yeah, I think seeing how close these lights are getting to Alistair, you said they're about 20 feet away from him. Is that correct? Right now? Yeah, she will wheel around, and for her action, she will send 2 indigo lances at, I guess, the closest of these 2 lights. Do I need to make any kind of save or anything like that since she's turning to face them, or how do you want to handle that?
How far away are you?
So I dashed. If they're 20 feet from Alistair, I
You'd
think
have been
Alistair.
100 feet.
Well, I think
You would have
Alistair
been.
dashed too.
Sorry.
So yeah, no, you're good. I think she'd only be about 20 feet? Question mark. 20 feet away from them, because Alistair dashed just like she dashed. They both move 60 feet. So I think maybe theater of the mind.
Right. I could have had a map, but
That's all good.
yeah,
Yeah, because her fly speed is only 30 feet. It's not anything crazy.
right.
So
I feel like I messed up the math there. It's fine.
It's fine. You're good. It's all good.
We're gonna forego everyone seeing them until their next turn.
Okay.
Carry on.
Totally up to you.
Carry
All right. 2 indigo blasts, or indigo lances rather, at the closest one to her and Alistair. That is a, you know what, I should have put a curse on. That's okay. That is a 22 on the first. And there we go, and a 23 on the second. So I imagine both of those hit.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, that is going to be 1 and 2. Wow, that's really good damage. That's 17 points of force damage as these 2 kind of purplish blue blasts of energy erupt from the swirl of crystal on her left palm and hopefully slam into this thing. 17 points of force damage.
They collide. The magical energy is capable of impacting their incorporeal form. When you cast magic within the confines of the city, Svedna, you are... It's pain. It's not like, oh, you take hit point damage. But you are racked with like a shocking, like, it's nerve pain. Like, tingly in your arm. As Vazikil seems... You're not like being cut off, but it seems rather like placated or sedated.
Interesting.
And it's like, it just seems like the limbs asleep.
Yeah, she'll take note of that. Imagine Alistair, you see maybe there's kind of like a shudder that runs up and down that left arm, which has those like crystalline spines growing out of it. You hear her kind of hiss under her breath. But she'll kind of force herself to move past it. She's dealt with terrible pain over these last 8 years, so she's going to try to force herself to ignore it, and then she will fly another 30 feet away. Although you did say that Alistair would have to make a jump this time. So yeah, I think she'll fly to like wherever Alistair is going to have to jump from to maybe try to help him. I mean, she's already used her action, but she's not going to leave him behind. So I think that'll end her turn. A little bit of movement there.
Alistair will just kind of call after her. Are you good?
I'll be fine. Just you need to make this jump. Come on.
We'll see.
The flesh ghouls are still too far back to catch up. So Alistair.
All right. Then I imagine that he's been approaching this, whatever it is, a ledge or a rooftop or what have you, that he's going to have to jump. He's jumping a gap, or he's jumping from rooftop down to ground?
Both options are applicable.
Is the church in sight?
Yes. I would say, like, so realistically, you guys can recognize the church is about halfway in between the keep where you need to go and where you are now.
I see. Okay. In that case, I guess he'll attempt to keep on the rooftop for the time being. The threats there seem to be somewhat less. So
I will say, you are... I mean, you can only see so far, but
sure.
Running across roofs is ultimately difficult terrain in some sense.
Fair enough.
You cannot see further than 1 or 2 roofs ahead of you. You know, you might get to a spot where it dead ends and you can't jump. You know, there are obstacles where these things that are following you can fly.
Okay, so I think that it would be perhaps easier to trespass on the ground. So
it's kind of 50-50. There are undead on the ground, but you can move unhindered without having to jump.
Are all of the undead behind us, or are there still some that are ahead of us?
There's definitely some that are ahead of you, but
okay.
It seems like they need to come in contact with this light to kind of engage.
I see. All
and
right.
Fortunately, it seems like these undead are more of the nuisance type versus the threat level.
Okay. So I think what happens then is kind of at the end of that 60-foot like hustle, he kind of like slides to a stop, realizing that this gap might be a little further than he's comfortable trying to jump. And he just says, bollocks, and he just kind of like rolls over the half wall onto like the thatching of the lower, and then kind of like to the edge of that, then just drops the last bit of distance down to the ground. So I can still roll the jump. It's just he's doing it, old man style.
Sure.
Do you still not want that at a disadvantage for the armor?
Given that you're going just straight down, I'm gonna say no.
Okay. In that case, it's a 16.
All right, yeah, you're able to kind of land and tuck and roll across your back, relieving the pressure off your legs, putting you back up onto your feet with relative ease. There is kind of like it's very emaciated corpse that's like more skeleton and skin than anything else, and you kind of are quickly able to raise you, dispatch the skeleton. It kind of like cripples back, and you have some space to kind of stand. Was there anything else you'd like to do on your turn? You're just using your dash to run, or is there any bonus actions?
Was that an action to jump down?
No.
No. In that case, I think what I might do is actually drop my Shield of Faith spell in favor of casting Spirit Guardians, so that if those things do close with me, that they're going to have to contend with that first. So I think after he lands, kind of does the tuck and roll, he stands up or gets to like a half knee, and looks back over his shoulder, realizing that these things are going to probably catch up, and reaches up and grabs a hold of his holy symbol and very quietly kind of says in a prayer. And as he does so, he sees a lot of the individuals that he has laid to rest over the years, particularly a number of them from the war that he fought in, begin to basically encircle him in a protective manner. And then he's going to move.
I imagine these are radiant.
Yes.
Okay. It's Alistair. So now we go to the nightlights. You have all seen them. And as they have come close to you, they have the actually it's an action, so that's fair. We're actually going to forego that altogether. They are each going to split and go out. One's going towards Alistair, and the other will go towards Guthrum, since you revealed yourself. Yeah, fuck you too. They each make 2 corrupting touch attacks and then use their Horrify ability. So on Alistair, corrupting attacks 1 and 2 will be.
Did they make a save for Spirit Guardians?
They will.
Oh, okay.
I just rolled to attack, which both of them missed anyway. So what do I need to roll for Spirit Guardians? And then I need you to roll a Wisdom saving throw, DC 13.
Okay. Spirit Guardians is a Wisdom save at a DC of 15.
Fail.
Okay, in that case, they're going to take. You want me to roll the damage individually or just once for both of them?
Well, only the one pursued you.
Oh, fair enough. Yep.
And this is the one that Svedna attacked.
Plus. That is 10 radiant damage.
Okay. Bloodied.
And then you said it was a wisdom save?
Yep.
Okay. Hell yeah. The 21.
You are immune to being frightened by this creature for the next 24 hours.
Okay.
All
I think
right.
this creature closes and swings at him, and as it gets closer, several of these like recalled spirits strike out with swords and like pikes and spears, kind of like trying their best to keep it at bay. Though their incorporeal nature means that they cannot. Some of this this radiance, this divine magic, manages to pierce this thing's hide a little. And Alistair is bolstered by the fact that he is surrounded by so many that he has helped. So he is not afraid.
I think we actually see this scene from the perspective of the specter. It's kind of like ghostly arms in front of it, and it's reaching towards you. We see, Alistair looking back, Hugh in one hand, holy symbol in the other, having just cast this spell. And these like blinding lights of soldiers laid to rest, like coming through and slashing at it. And one passes, and there's a shadowy figure standing next to Alistair. Its face concealed, but sitting at its foot is the fox we've seen earlier, outside of Tom's cairn. And as the next one flashes again, that figure is gone, and we just see Alistair, resolute, still looking, his spirit smashing into the specter. Which brings us to the one that is attacking you, Guthrum. 2 corrupting attacks and a horrify. The first will miss with an 11, but the second is a 21 to hit. You're going to take 10 points of necrotic damage, and I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, DC 13.
Oof. 8.
You are afraid. You have the frightened condition. You have disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls when in line of sight of the source of your fear. You cannot move closer to this thing. Only just run.
Yeah.
Do we want to take 5 to go to the bathroom, or do we want?
I'm just gonna run. Can I take my turn to run?
Yeah, you can run.
And then we're at the top of the order.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
All right, so let's
That'd be
recap
great.
here. Alistair just aura farmed, fighting this banshee. Svedna circles from above. I will say, Svedna, you did see this banshee break off and go and attack what you now recognize to be Guthrum. Who, I mean, you would have been able to see him also fire his starry bolt,
right?
Because you're from the sky. You are now frightened, Guthrum. You guys, you are all running amongst undead that are turning to acknowledge you.
Real quick, Baron, is the creature that Guthrum is engaged with, is it between Guthrum and where the church is, or is like Guthrum on the other side of it so he can keep running towards the church?
I would say he can keep running, but this thing is faster than him, so it can keep up.
Ominous. Great. Cool.
Yeah.
Hate that.
So, I will say, let's summarize with saying that like it seems like you guys have escaped the ghouls due to the assistance of this mysterious herald. But the banshees run faster than you, so you might have to dispatch them at the very least. Before you can safely get there. But all right, let's take 10 minutes, use the bathroom, smoke them if you got them, refill your drinks, whatever Jeremy says with his awesome segues into this part of the game. We'll be right back, and we'll survive.
Hell yeah. We are back. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Baron, please, hurt us.
All right, we resume. The individual at the top of the round who had distracted the ghouls, this man who looked like a beanstalk in leather clothes, has disappeared from your view. Svedna, you currently see your two companions running as you fly, and they're both being assailed by ghostly light-like creatures that seem incorporeal.
How far away is Guthrum's ghosty from where she's at right now?
Probably about movement.
Okay. Yeah, I think she has this brief moment of maybe I should get closer to Guthrum, and then I think she has this just awful flash of Tom's body impaled on those stakes. She's like, no, she's not going to go anywhere if Alistair's down below fighting. He seems like he's holding his own, so I think she's going to turn her attention to the ghost that is attacking Guthrum, and she will send 2 indigo lances at this thing since it's within 120 feet. Pew. I say pew. Well, that's a pew too far, apparently. So the first one's a 10. The second one is a natural 20.
All right.
So remind me how we're doing crits on this. Is it just
Um,
double damage, or what did you
it's
say?
in-
Yeah, actually, I have the doc up. I should look at that.
It's at the top of the dock in custom rules.
Looking
I
now.
don't
Looking
have the
now.
dock up.
You,
Shame on
no,
me.
you do. Roll the dice twice and then add bonuses. Crits are handled traditionally, so I will roll the dice twice. Roll the dice twice. It's so nice. 1, 2. That is dog water damage, though. That is only 6 points of force damage. As this the second blast, I guess, clips it, maybe shears off some of the light. Trying to think.
You're probably still reeling a little bit from the numbness in your
Yeah,
arm.
yeah, that has her slightly perturbed because that's, I assume, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Baron, I don't think that's ever happened before, that she's aware of.
No. Yeah, I mean, you can put. What is your passive insight?
14 actually. It's not terrible.
Looking around, you have noticed that some of these undead, they have, it's almost like a dusting or like a mold of like a light crystalline structure. Almost like salt buildup.
Is it green in color?
It's hard to, you are realistically probably just distinguishing it now because it's very similar
Right.
to just the dust that of everything around. It's just, it looks dead, inert. You're not really getting much feedback off of that. I mean, maybe that could play into it, but you do feel something large. It was when you were in the Rotwood in the first series, you felt like Vazikil opened up to an expanse, like an ocean much larger than itself, similar to that. But there's something wrong with it.
Interesting. That bodes really, really poorly. Cool. So yeah, she will, after firing off these indigo lances to try to help Guthrum, I think she'll just kind of move back, maybe like, I mean, she has to, she'll fly 30 feet back, but still kind of keep an eye on Alistair and Guthrum. And I think that's it. No bonus action.
All right. You can see now that some of this like undead wave that these lights have passed by is beginning to shift, and they're all starting to begin moving in your direction.
Yeah, I think
Alice.
real quick, I think seeing that, if she notices that, she'll just call out to the others. If you can, we need to get to the church now. Stop fighting and pull back. Just as loudly as she can. I mean, they're already heading this way, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, she will let them know that.
Alistair.
Okay, so how much distance am I looking at to the door to this church? Is it something I can get to
you're
this turn?
probably. Gosh, these. I would say no, you cannot get there this turn.
Okay.
Like full. full movement, you'd probably about 3 turns away.
Okay, so still somewhere like almost to 200 feet or so. Okay.
You feel as if you were to relieve these ghost lights from assailing you, it would be less a matter of turns and more a matter of dispatching the nuisance undead between you and there and getting there.
Okay. How close is the one that is pressing the advantage on Guthrum to me?
I would say you guys are probably about a movement away from each other.
About 30 feet?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. In that case, he is going to wheel around, standing at the center of these spirits that he helped lay to rest, and is going to produce that same holy symbol of Anak forward, and he is going to try his best to turn undead.
That is always a portion of the mechanics that I gotta look at.
So that is going to be Channel Divinity. How do I track that? Oh, okay. I get 2 per short rest. Okay, so that is going to be an action. Each undead that can see or hear me within 30 feet needs to make a wisdom save, DC 15.
Right. Yours passes, Guthrum's fails.
Okay, interesting. All right, good enough though. So fails on the saving throw. It's turn for 1 minute or until it takes any damage. So I guess he'll just call out.
I mean, turn is just it moves its movement away from you.
Right, but he's going to call out to make sure that Guthrum knows to not swing at this thing, to just let it be. Mine, on the other hand, is just going to do what it's going to do. Can't take reactions for its action, can only dash. Okay. And then the one that's on me. Fuck, I don't really want to give it a free swing, but I mean, I got to get to the church, so he's just going to run. Try his best to
make an attack of opportunity. Dude, it bounced from 16 to 3. Disappointing.
Fuck yes. Okay. So yeah, this thing, rakes at the back of him, and he just kind of like throws his shield back, it kind of haphazardly, and moves 30 feet towards the church.
There is the swing of the Banshee, and we actually see someone in like the garb of Alfen's militia from the Vern War. As this Banshee goes to swing, he interposes and kind of like cuts the hand of the Banshee off. I mean, it like just disapparates and then like reforms back, but that's how it blocks the blow. Your spirit guardian coming in and blocking this move. And you move towards the church. Well, actually, no, that's Banshee's turn. Banshee B has to move away from you. Banshee A. You move 30 feet, so he would have left your spirit guardians. If he goes to attack you again, he'll have to re-enter your spirit guardians. They're not very
Come on in, the water's fine.
Yeah, why not? He will re-enter and make 2 attacks against you. And he's got to make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom save, DC 15.
Alright, so both of his attacks will hit 25 and 22. But his wisdom save is a natural 20. There is all my rolls for the game.
All
Thanks,
right.
folks. Well, that's it for the night. We're done here. All right, so 2 corrupting touches to you, Alistair. You are going to take a total of 16 points of necrotic damage as its spectral grasp, it sinks through your physical plate. You can feel its spectral fingers pass through bone and muscle alike, leaving you cold.
Okay. It takes half of the damage, so it takes 9 points of radiant
Okay.
with a pass. Alistair, there's a shiver that goes up his spine at this damage, and he kind of trembles for a moment, getting a feel for what it might be like whenever he finally lays to rest in his own grave. He's not quite ready yet, but he has an odd comfort with it.
Guthrum.
So, I'm still frightened. Am I within sight of the banshee that frightened me?
Were you frightened by the first banshee, or are you
Well,
frightened
that,
by your banshee, which is
yeah,
running away from you? So technically, you should be fine as long as you
yeah,
run
because
away from it.
my last action, I ran away from it, and then it got turned also. So, I think if I'm not in sight of it, then I can roll wisdom saving throw to see if I'm no longer frightened, right?
Let us look. How do you get rid of the frightened action?
Imagine I
Actually,
shouldn't
no,
be.
that's wrong. You're only frightened till the start of its next turn anyway, so you wouldn't be frightened
Sweet.
anymore. So.
Okay, cool. Well, in that sense, in that case, how far away from the church am I? We still need to make a stand at these banshees because they're going to be able to catch up
You're
with
about
us.
3 dashes away from the church, or killing this one banshee that's not been turned.
Yeah, I'll definitely kill or go ahead and blast at the one that hasn't been turned yet with a starry wisp.
Starry wisp.
17.
17 will hit.
Ooh. 12 radiant.
The creature is not fully apparating anymore, as it's kind of been torn apart by
It
blasts
also
of light.
emits a dim glow, but I think it was already doing that.
Yeah, it was.
But now you see like
But now you can see area
a
around it.
pearly, yeah, yeah. But there's like, where it was hit, there's like pearly moonshine, which is a little different from the like undead
A little bit more
bleach.
twilight instead of.
Yeah. There's an opalescence to it, you look and
Yeah.
you're like, wait, is that silvery?
Did you do something with your hair? Mm.
uh, and then I'll go ahead and take a movement to actually, can I hide? Can I try to hide after I blasted it?
Oh yeah, you could.
Yeah. Try to do that. $23.
All right. At the bottom of the round, this coalescing wave of undead, we now see like a rippling pulse kind of pushing back against this wave as like all of the undead that were kind of circling around you when Alistair turned. I mean, mind you, a lot of them were getting mowed down by these spirit guardians, but even in like the light beyond that, we see like this kind of ripple of energy go out, and now they're all like and they're all turned as well. And so it's kind of like 2 two waves crashing into each other of zombies being coaxed into different directions. Flash mob. Top of the round, Svedna.
Okay, so are there any ghostly lights on anyone at this point? Is Alistair still around, or has that been turned as well? Or no, it's saved on the turn, right?
Alistair's is still attacking him, but it's looking pretty fucked up, and it's within this realm of spirit guardians.
Okay. Yeah, not to kill Steel, but she also understands like the priorities to get the fuck out of here. So she will, from the rooftop, she will fire 2 more indigo lances at the one that is harassing Alistair. That is a 17 on the first and a 18 on the second.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's got so few hit points. Unless you roll incredibly badly.
I mean, honestly, Svedna has traditionally rolled badly for whatever reason during a lot of these trilogies. That's a 15 total force damage.
There is like an overlap. There is the spectral figure of an orcish woman in the same plate. She is half burned. But as she goes to slash this spectral shade of the banshee that's assailing Alistair, there's like the inner position of the 2 bolts kind of crossing at the same point where she slashes. And Alistair, you just see this figure appear to like cut this banshee in half. And as they both kind of dissipate, you see Svedna in the air, kind of loosely mimicking the same position up behind her.
He gives like a quick nod of thanks, and then turns and continues.
You all run, and you quickly arrive at the stone church. This building is grand. You can tell that it prioritizes Zalir as within the kind of solid iron band that extends around the front of the like glass window. Within the mosaic of that window is a sun, which is commonly representation of the Seraphim Zalir, god of angel of the sun. You enter the building. There's the huge like of the wood stock that bars the door, and you are in an empty like cathedral, basically. Like think like your grand like Catholic style churches where like there are depictions of the 33 verses of Azrael on the ceiling. There are depictions of Zalir. There are pictures of Halif and all the other seraphim, and then above them all is like the band of the iron ring that represents the mosaic whole. There are pews and pews and pews of just empty seats. Cobwebs fill the space. Dust. There is no. It doesn't smell musty. It just smells like a crypt. No, crypts are musty. It smells like it smells like a crypt. If that's musty, then so be it. Nothing seems to have stirred here. And as you kind of like sit or stand or catch your breath, take perspective of your surroundings, you hear footsteps echoing from behind one of the columns. And there's this figure, this old man in leather clothes. He has a long beard, white hair, eyes like coal. He puts a pinch of tobacco into a pipe, pulls a match and strikes it, inhales deeply. Well, there isn't much time, but we can rest here.
Is this still holy ground?
In a place damned. This is about as close as we'll get.
Thank the gods. He'll find a pew to like lower himself into and like head back, just kind of like up at the ceiling.
How have you survived here so long to be in this place?
Well, I've been a firefly a long time. And though there are many caches in the wild, I always thought it diligent to have caches in the city as well. It's safe to say there isn't much left, but I've managed.
So 2 questions. First, could Sveta make an insight check on that to see if this individual is being honest? And then 2, does this individual look familiar at all?
Insight. And yes.
19 on the insight.
He seems genuine.
Okay. And then, so where would she know this person from or recognize this person from?
Roll a d20.
17. Wow, my dice have suddenly started loving me again. I love you too, dice.
You recognize the case before you recognize the man, because he looks older now, but you
Yep.
definitely threw a couple coppers
Yep,
in his
I
case
knew it.
in the Routwood a couple years ago.
Yep, when she first came to Fernwood, I remember that. I was like, is this the same guy? The moment you mentioned the case, yeah, I think Alistair, although you're looking at the ceiling, maybe it's more Guthrum. I think you just see she looks completely gobsmacked. She's like, what the fuck are you doing here? You're just, I thought you were a bard at the Rowdy Logger. I vaguely I remember you.
I am a bard.
Right.
But people can be many things.
You know what? You are right about that. And I think she's just gonna go find a pew and just kind of sit down. Good to see you again.
You know each other?
No.
In passing, really. When I first came to Fernwood to look into the whole potion smuggling nonsense, I listened to a story that he was telling at the Rowdy Logger, and I threw him a gold piece. Put a gold piece in his case.
Well, if
don't have too many
gave you
people throwing gold pieces in my case anymore.
I was going to say,
especially not here.
If Svedna lent you coin, then you must be fast friends.
Well, what can I say? I was younger and stupider back then, apparently. Just throwing gold around like it was, nothing.
Usually I accept just a few coppers, but I'll take it gold.
Yes. I think she kind of chuckles under her breath despite the undead situation, just the bizarreness of this encounter, the strangeness of this encounter.
What was the name of the grand firefly that we were looking for against Svedna?
Did we get a name, Baron? I remember we were told.
His name is Bartholomew Higgins, and he is me.
Oh.
He takes off this leather cap.
Well, we were sent to find you. It seems that we've at least accomplished one of our missions.
Mm-hmm.
You found him. Good job.
Indeed. And Mr. Grand Firefly, it sounds as though you've been in Greenhaven for some time.
About a week. Seeing what I could find. Might not look it, but the undead are stirring. Something's going on. Something's about to happen. I can feel it. I lived here a long time. Sometimes the stories start to tell you. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
Yes, unfortunately. Do you know of a way into the keep that would maybe allow us to go around the undead? Bartholomew?
Going around them is kind of a fool's dream. They're everywhere.
Right.
I can get you close.
I think she's kind of hesitant, but considering it's just the three of us and then this individual, we were sent to, as Alistair said, we were sent to find you and hopefully bring you back to a safe house of the Long Patrol. But would you be interested in helping us? You said the undead were stirring. We have an inkling of why that might be. We could use all the help we could get.
I can see you as far Actually, let me rephrase this. I have a feeling you guys don't necessarily need to sneak into the keep.
How do you mean?
It seems like whatever you're going for is kind of expecting you at any given moment, if I had to guess.
Possibly.
So I can get you close. I can show you a way in. But I don't think it really matters if you go in the side entrance or the front gate.
As long as we can try to keep down the amount of skirmishes that we're going to have to pass through before we get there, that would be
Yeah, I
helpful.
can definitely sympathize with you there. I'll get you close. But unfortunately, someone's always got to tell the story, and I think that's me.
Sounds like an excuse to not help. I think she like smiles a little bit at that, not like meaning anything malicious by it, but I think she understands.
He kind of just nods at you.
Well, do we rest a little first? He asks kind of hopefully.
Yes. I can hear your knees groaning from here.
They are
You-
a little
there
injured.
isn't a tremendous amount of time, but you can rest here. I'm gonna go climb the bell tower and keep watch for anything untoward. If you don't feel comfortable with that as your watch, feel free to place your own as well.
Might
I've
be
got
wise.
Few things in a satchel over there that'll maybe tide you over. Offset your supplies for getting you back home. Because that is your ambition, right? Getting back home.
I think Alistair is in the process of like bundling up his cloak so that he can like use it as a pillow, you know, on like stretch out on this pew, and he kind of like stops whenever he asks this question, and he shoots kind of a somewhat uncertain look in the direction of Svedna.
I don't think she says anything.
And he
I th-
continues.
Yeah.
Certainly, I would think.
He looks to you, Guthrum. Seems like some of y'all got some folks back home waiting for you to return.
Yeah.
Seems like it'd be pretty important to make sure you have some rations for the way back. So if I can offset your usage with some of mine, feel free. Eat up.
Appreciate it.
And he kind of watches to see who reaches for the food.
Go ahead, Guthrum. And I think Svedna will go to one of like the windows to kind of keep watch. But yeah, she doesn't go anywhere near those rations.
I devour them.
Yeah, I think Alistair will go and grab, you know, something to fill his belly.
It's some hardtack, some cheese, some dried fruits, maybe some nuts. Very, very
This
much.
ought to
like
take us back, hey, Alistair. Or you back. Military rations.
Many days eating nothing but, unfortunately. But it's better than nothing.
He kind of like looks at Svedna, who walked away, turns, and he climbs the belfry.
Alistair's going to go lay out on the pew, kind of, you know, gives a solid punch or two to his cloak to kind of like work out a lump. And he says, "Wake me in a little while. I'll take my turn at watch. But until then," and he kind of like cracks his back and stretches out and lays back on this cloak and is going to attempt to fall asleep for a bit.
I think Svedna, she kind of like, as she's listening to Alistair say this, she nods. She has no intention of waking him up for a watch. I think she's just going to let him sleep, considering he was diving and rolling like a madman across the rooftops because, you know, no other option here. But yeah, I think as she's sort of returning her gaze outside of the window, she will reach into her bag and she pulls out this old, sort of well-thumbed book of artish poetry. And there's like stains on it. It looks like it's very ragged and threadbare. And she flips it open again, kind of alternating between looking at the pages and looking out of the window because she has no intention of letting the dead kind of steal a march on the group. And she stops at this very like dog-eared page. Um, and I think we see the title of this poem, My Heart Belongs to the Ardlands. And I think she kind of like traces her fingers over these words, as under her breath she will say to herself, where the waters of the river Ard rise and fall, where the velvet hills stand strong and tall, when the voice of bygone years does call, I know where my heart belongs, where the voices of elves still sing, in forgotten ruins fit for a king, with a pride that's born from deep within, I know where my heart belongs. As springtime flowers caress the lands, grass-clad mountains and soft, gentle sands, a passion that my past commands, I know where my heart belongs. When I come home with my love, I'll be in our homeland where our hearts are free. No prouder people than such as we. My heart belongs to the Ardlands. And she thinks about the last time she said this aloud, and it was not just her voice, it was her voice and Finnebar's voice because it was a poem that he adored. And she specifically bought this book because it contained this poem. Um, and I think she thinks about those rations. She thinks about the fact that although her mother is still out there, safely away from the Rotwood, I think there is this kind of this gut feeling that she is not going to go back. You know what I mean? She's not making this return journey. Um, but she will close the book and kind of tuck it away and just kind of keep the vigil while Alistair sleeps, and Guthrum can come relieve her, do kind of whatever he wants, but she's not gonna wake the old man.
Guthrum, do you do anything?
Um,
Do you have
Guthrum
any
is-
poetry?
I do not have any poetry
Oh,
prepared.
wow.
I
Hard to follow
know.
that one up, wasn't it?
I give a point of inspiration to
Yeah, you can have point of hero good inspiration for sure. Beautiful. Well done.
Guthrum. Does not really need to rest. He knows that he has expended much of his energy that he had and abilities that he has recently developed, and now he's looking deep down to see what he has left, and it's bitterness and determined will to fight that brings out his rage. So he's kind of stealing himself.
Yeah, feel that. You all take your time to rest. Alistair, as you sleep, short, fitful, seems unrestful. You awaken to 3 loud bangs on the wooden door, like someone is knocking. You rise, you sit up, and you see that there is nobody in here. You are alone. But it seems as if daylight is peeking up through the windows.
Svedna? Guthrum?
Nobody.
He very quickly like gathers his belongings and kind of gets to
You
his feet.
look around. You have your standard issue longsword. You have a short bow that they had given you, but never really much training. Standard issue woolen, like under padding. You got some leather bracers, maybe some chainmail. Never really fitted for you, but wasn't really fit for the last guy either. This is your equipment from the war.
What? No, no.
3 loud bangs. Boom, boom, boom.
He kind of looks down at his hands, trying to see how old he thinks he might be, of reaching up and touching his face.
You can feel the cracks in your face. You can feel it in your knees.
I don't understand. This can't be possible. This cannot be possible.
You are across the room, and that door is a foot thick, and you can hear it like the person standing right behind you. Alistair, are you gonna make me stand outside all day, or can I come in?
He kind of slowly makes his way towards the door, trying to wrap his head around exactly what is happening. Who is it?
Don't play games with me, Alistair. It's cold. Open the door.
I'm sorry. I must insist. Who is it?
It's Gid, buddy. Open the door.
Very well. He goes to the door and he moves whatever, is barring it from opening.
This huge chalk bar, you lift it out of the way. And these doors are huge, it's like giants could walk through these doors, and perhaps they did in the time of the past if this building existed that long. But these hinges swing open, well greased, unfaded by time, and standing outside this door is an individual you recognize, but good God, do they look terrible. His flesh is stretched over what seems to be grass, and it's almost like his bones are holding him with any kind of rigidity. This man looks like a scarecrow, and like he's missing an eye, and there's like grass shoots sticking out of it. It's like this wheatgrass that grows commonplace throughout the Ardlands. His arm is missing, and you can see his other arm is up, and it's just like taut, tanned skin stretched over this grass that's giving him shape. And he kind of like weirdly like rubs his arms, like the stump arm not really doing much of anything except for like a caricature of this gesture. Come on, Alistair, it's cold. Let me inside.
Get in. What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with me? Why are you looking at me like that?
What is going on here? Get in. Where is this place? Where are we?
Looks like a church to Zalir to me. Not really your cup of tea.
It isn't, but it seems to be providing some semblance of protection. The door's open, get in.
Steps inside and walks towards one of these pews. Brushing his arms, he kind of like sits down and kicks back. I always knew how to build these grand temples, but the message is always so empty.
Yes, empty. Why is your body stuffed with straw?
Up in the quiet mountains, they say that when you die, your body nourishes the fields of the plains below, and the grass that grows is the souls of all the people that have helped this place grow to become what it is. Because first the grasses grow. You see it in the plains all the time. And it's once you see these grasses start growing that you get the big grazers. Then the shrubs come, and the small trees, and then the small trees grow bigger, and then the big trees start to grow, and it turns into a place thriving with life. It just takes time, but it all starts with the grasses.
But you aren't thriving with life, are you, Gideon?
No. No, I'm not.
Who sent you here?
No one
To
said.
torment me this way?
I'm not here to torment you. You do that enough yourself. Why don't you sit down?
You are a creature of unlife, Gideon.
I'm still your teacher, Alistair. Sit down.
He sits across from him with some distance between them. I will hear you out, because at one time, the shell that you use was someone special to me. But know this, whoever you are, whatever is commanding you to do this, when this is over, you'll be undone, and Enek will reclaim whatever fragment of this soul that you now cling to.
Poetic. Are you done?
By all means.
Very well. I have come to you as an envoy. You'd like to skip the formalities, I suppose we'll get right into them.
Time does seem to be short.
Oh, but there is all the time in the world, Alistair. Once you step into the threshold of death, there is nothing but. He, in like the backs of these chairs, like of the pews, you know, there's like the hymnals, prayer books. He takes one and he kind of like opens it. And then he like takes both covers and he's like, the story, if you will, the beginning to the end. And he kind of like stretches it until the cover and the like back cover touch, and it's like destroying the binding. You still can't stretch to make either end touch. There's a gap between, and that gap between goes on and on and on forever. It's awful cold, Alistair. You might be wiser to not run directly into it. Turn back. Go back the way you came.
I see now. I see. So you represent whatever cursed being waits for us.
He does wait for you.
You are sent by the Headless One. Undoubtedly. An envoy, you said it yourself. Carrier of a message on behalf of someone else. See, Gideon, when you were alive, you served a higher purpose. That's what I learned from you. This is beneath you.
I'm trying to save you.
The entity that you represent sent you because it is terrified. It is desperate. This is not a creature of peace, of mercy. This creature is cruel. It spreads and spreads and spreads, and still it is hungry for more. That is the nature of evil.
If you know the nature of evil so well, what could it possibly fear within you?
Why else would you be here? To offer me a way out, instead of simply killing me, if you could.
Because an eternity of cold and sorrow, I've had some time to think in the brief stay there. You can go. You told me once that Jaraba wouldn't want this for her. She wouldn't want it for you either. Take your chance and run. Look around you. It only gets worse from here.
Then it gets worse. I have seen and done things that I cannot abide any longer. This is my penance. I come to correct a mistake, to help correct a mistake, and I will do so, or I will die trying. Cold be damned, depth be damned, darkness be damned, you be damned. Gideon.
The door is still cracked. I feel like, you crossed the room and sat adjacent from him, and we see now like the patter of small feet walking into this chamber. I think now the camera is far enough back that we see that all the art and mosaic of the glass is like a faded gray. We're seeing like almost like dark vision hues. Just there is no detail. We're in a place of great reverence. This small animal crosses the threshold. It's a fox. But then a larger shadow looms behind it, a cloaked figure also entering the space. They almost appear to glide across the room. And Alistair, you are looking back towards the door and can see this, and you are looking at Gideon as well, and you can see that there is some acknowledgement on his end as well, but he is like too rigid with fear or limitations of his body to turn around. And this figure approaches and like puts its hand on Gideon's shoulder, and in a voice unearthly, all encompassing from everywhere and nowhere. Alistair, it is time to send our brother to the grasslands beyond. We briefly look up, and there is just like the snout of a fox emerging from underneath this hood, but there is no clear definition of its face. What would you do?
I think he looks up at this individual, nods solemnly. For what you taught me, Gideon, thank you. I hope that the good that you did will bring you some rest after the torment I am uncertain you have suffered. Perhaps, too, the good that I have done will outweigh the torment I have suffered, or whatever torment may be ahead of me. But for you, I think it is time to say goodbye. And I think he's going to get up and walk to one of the candelabras that are kind of like in this cathedral, and he's going to take one of the matches, light the candle, and then he's going to very slowly and methodically walk over to get in and set him ablaze.
And like a funeral pyre, he catches, and the cloaked figure is gone. And as Gideon burns, he kind of like chokes, and like smoke kind of like emerges from like the taut flesh. Run while you can. And he burns. And you sit up. You are sweaty. It's one of the, it's your body was trying to wake you up way long ago, and you're just like, oh God. I don't know if Svedna ever went to sleep. Guthrum probably never went to sleep because I don't know if you guys needed rest or how that worked. But Alistair, They never woke you up. You seem to
Yeah.
have slept the whole time.
He sits bolt upright and kind of, and then coughs. And I think there's a little bit of smoke that actually comes out of his mouth.
There is steps down the belfry. Horsemen, white cloaks, coming from the gate of the city. They're slaying undead in their wake.
I think Svedna was looking at Alistair as he's like coughing. Maybe she took a couple of steps towards him, but then she stops when Bartholomew says this. White cloaks, were there any symbols on the cloaks that you could see? Or
Sun, night solar.
I think then she definitely looks at Alistair and is like, oh shit. She kind of looks at his armor and down to her shield. And then she looks up to Bartholomew. Are they heading towards the church, or where are they headed? Can you tell?
They are riding up the main thoroughfare of the city.
We should stop them or find out what the fuck they're doing.
I was visited in a dream.
Oh, great. What is everything all right? Are you all right?
It took the shape of Gideon, but it's not important. It bade me to run. I have a feeling the Headless One is scared. It knows that we are here, but it tried to get me to turn back and run. We need to get to it as soon as we can, before it has a chance to bolster itself or fortify further.
What about the knights?
The knights be damned.
I can distract them. You guys get inside. Like I said, it doesn't matter if you take a side gate or the front gate, they know you're here. Confrontation is inevitable. Fireflies light the way.
All right. That's what you think is best. She looks from you, Alistair, to Bartholomew, and then kind of back to you. Let's go.
He looks to you all before you separate. May you walk the long path with grace. And he's going to dip out one of these side doors and...
Thank you, Bart.
Alistair,
Bart.
like, gets up and starts packing his stuff with, like, a renewed fervor. Like, almost like a manic, like, nature.
Are you sure you're all right?
I was wrestling and struggling with a lot about the path that led me here. What was done, what was not done. I think that we can put an end to this. I'm certain of it. And I'm not certain that I am going to make it out alive. And that's okay with me. It's okay. I'm comfortable with that. In fact, I think, now that I've admitted it, I think that's what I prefer.
Svedna looks to you briefly, Guthrum, before looking back at you, Alistair. We will see. Don't resign yourself to your fate just yet.
Just know that if it happens, before I have the chance to say it, and he kind of walks up and he kind of like grabs a hold of like both of their upper arms. It has been a distinct pleasure.
Yeah, I think Svenna just kind of like places a hand over your hand on her arm. Alistair squeezes it, but I think she will remove the hand. I don't think she says anything. I think she just starts to move towards the doors.
It's kind of been a pain in the ass, really. And I'll like put a heavy hand on your shoulder too. Come on, the story's not done.
You leave.
Yep, I think so.
It's when you leave the church, we hear like the thundering of hooves, and you hear a familiar man. This is someone that you had interacted with in the past. His voice very commanding, as is his reputation. You hear, Svedna Zeef, Alistair Mackenzie, wanted for your crimes of criminal activity and murder against the Knight Solar. You are hereby wanted by the crown. You peek around the corner, and there is a regiment of the Knight Solar bearing the banner that they carry of the sunburst and wrapped in iron, and it is Commander Ivan Belay, a man who worked underneath Isadora Buckler in Drift, who was the commander of the man that you got your shield from and you got your armor from. Beside him is an individual that you also recognize, a tiefling, purple, with goat-like horns. She is wearing the white armor of the Knight Solar. You turn back to each other. What would you do?
Is the tiefling, that's not Volcana from the Children of Dun, right? That's okay, because I don't think Svedna met Mercy. I think Guthrum and Alistair know who Mercy is. I don't know if Svedna does. If that's who the tiefling is, but it doesn't matter hugely.
It's Mercy.
We don't have time for this, to your point. Damn them. Let's just fucking go.
He kind of like looks in Mercy's direction and shakes his head, and he turns and tries to make his way out of here. I don't know if there's maybe a back door to this church.
Yeah, there'd definitely be back entrances for like church staff to get in and out during services. You slip out the back and you make your move towards the keep. The sky is gray, clouds forever blocking out the sun, but as we run through the streets of Greenhaven, or Darkhaven, as it could more canonically be called at this point, you we see the camera kind of move into like a more aerial shot as you are running through the city towards the keep, and it passes into the clouds, and we do see that the sun is rising. The velvet hills, the lush green grasses of the Southlands, all the things described in the poetry written by an author unnamed in the Artlands. We see all those things as the camera flies back over the country as far as we can see, and perhaps into the ocean. But our companions are not headed that way. We are headed into the depths of the earth, where evil congregates. And with that, I think we're close enough to 10 o'clock that we can end it effectively without going over. So with that, I'm Baron. I was your DM. This is my game. These are my friends. They help me play it. I'm gonna let them say some stuff, but if you like what you see, you might see me again here in another couple months, as I've got some more irons in the fire, and hopefully we can do some more cool stuff on the channel. We'll do Jason first, and go around and end with Jeremy and take us home.
Sounds good. I have been Jason Osorio playing Svedna Nazif, and Baron, don't give me hope that we might actually survive this nonsense. It's too painful.
No, you're gonna die.
I mean, I figured as much, but no. This is a lot of fun as always. It's so funny that we're all just like united, and like, fuck these knights. We gotta get this shit taken care of. We don't have time for this bullshit. Oh, we committed crimes. Who cares? It's just so funny to me. But anyway, Yes, this was excellent. I think you've done a really good job sort of working things from the past trilogies in without it being like overbearing. I think it's been very well done as far as that goes. Honestly, the whole like Gideon, Onek, Alistair scene was just so cool, so chilling, but so cool. Anyway, I will stop gushing, and yeah, all I can say is I cannot wait for our grand finale as we see what the fuck is going to happen with these three chuckle fucks, and I will pass it on to one of my fellow fabulous players. I assume Philip.
Yeah.
My Philip, my Philip.
My Philip.
I'm all y'all's Philip, and I was playing Guthrum Godhammer. Another great session, Baron. We do creepy stuff. That was fun. Thanks. Pass it on to Jeremy.
Yeah, man, I completely and totally echo that. It's fun because like I've played D&D for a long time, and I've run into undead a lot playing D&D. But you have made your undead very unique, very fresh. It feels like the type of encounter that I've never had before, which is very exciting. So I love it, and you give us chances to have scenes like the one that I just got with Gideon. That really helps us establish these characters and their pasts with so much flavor that it's more than just a game. It really is just an incredible story that you have woven together, and that we have managed to tell in 8 parts so far. So I am ecstatic to find out what happens in the last chapter, and what you have prepared for us, and what it is that is going to be Alistair's final moment, because I'm adamant about it. So,
Well,
adamant.
that's high praise. So.
I'm not letting you fucking die, you old fuck.
If I die, or if you die, I die. And then I don't kill either of you, and I kill Guthrum.
Yep, that's the way it goes.
No!
So about those kids.
But you guys are like, I need to
Little
find something
goats.
worth living for or a reason to die. And it's like, well, Guthrum's kids is a good reason for you guys to live. Die, Guthrum. Nah.
Oh my god.
Tragic.
But yeah, man, no, I absolutely love it. I am so happy that you decided that this was a good home for this trilogy of trilogies. I deeply appreciate that, man. So thank you. And thank you as well to Jason and Philip for being such fantastic people to spend time with. Love you guys.
All right. The song reaches its conclusion for the evening. We'll see you guys back in 2 weeks as we wrap this up. The final song in the Saga of the Ards.